What's up, Raider Nation? We're back. Jahan and Rashawn back with the Silver and Black Attack with another episode. Season starts on Sunday. Can't be more hyped. And we got a lot to talk about today. Breaking news. It seems like it's always breaking news with the Raiders, right? Man, I can't believe it. Anything to say about Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I mean, just literally 10 minutes ago, he went on another rampage on Insta. Eight full AB style, showing all these old texts and exchanges with McDaniels. It's every year this happens to us, dude. Like I think for the last 5 years, not last year. Last year was actually good. It was pretty quiet, but every other year there's been something right before the season.
Let
And
me let me let me just start with three letters. CTE. Those
yeah,
are the three
it's
those are the three core letters.
yeah, you had got other content creators. I won't name names, blaming McDaniel, saying, "Oh, he must have screwed the relationship up." But I mean, I think this is a mental issue. Clearly, I mean, we saw it. McDaniels even or the organization sent a mental health professional to his house. He just revealed that, I think, 20, 30 minutes ago. So, I mean, I'm praying for the guy. I hope he's okay. But, I mean, I doubt he's going to be on the field this season.
And I wanted to just kind of go through it, right? So obviously the first one he posted a fire and rescue team came to his house, supposedly mental health specialists, CRT team, and he posted the badge of the lady. And then he posted the next slide was Raider sent her to my house. She said, you need to come with us. You're in danger.
Yeah.
And then he said, they had me outside in my drawers, lol, naked. That lady was rude. Then I got to showing her some of them texts. And then she switched up. Buddy from the Raiders tried to give me the look, like, don't say anything. This is just a weird situation, honestly. Like, I've
Yeah.
never seen anything like this. And
There's
then
nothing really to say. I mean, they interview. He's not playing for Sean. Week one, it's out. Like, there's no way he's playing. I doubt the entire season. I think he's just done for the year.
Ghost. I think he's done with the Raiders. I think he's gonna be released. And
And
then
the
he said he followed it up with, now I understand why players turn to social media. At first I frowned upon it, but it's our only outlet. If I didn't do this, it would have been kept under wraps. Anybody interview them and ask why I'm not with the team because I don't know. Then he followed it up with a text from Josh McDaniels, which was yeah, which was a lot. I don't even want to say it. I mean, he's just talking about disrespect, and McDaniel's talking about we got to work through some things, and then basically just going back and forth saying, y'all see how Buddy talked to me like I'm an item. LMAO, look at my text and look at his. Y'all send another one over here. I'm gonna start sharing videos live from my other phone. I'm gonna be nice, Josh. I wanted to play Sunday. If you let me play, I won't share anything else. So these are threats, and the odds of him playing have just slim and none have walked out the door.
Yeah, I mean, they interviewed Crosby, some of the beat writers, and they
Right.
asked him like, "What's your reaction to Chandler Jones?" And he literally just said like, "Yeah, next man up mentality. Whether it's Tyree or Malcolm Kuntz, it's next man up." So by the guy's best friend saying that, it's over. He's not
He
going to be the team.
unfollowed him. He unfollowed him too.
Unfollowed him,
And
unfollowed the team.
And let's just specify Chandler Jones is not a good player because I've been reading this Denver Tribune posted an article today. Of course, Denver Tribune posted an article saying Raiders star in dilemma question mark. How will that impact the game on Sunday? This is not going to impact the game at all. Let me just put that out there. That Chandler Jones is not a difference maker. He's not a game wrecker. He's old. He's washed. He had a horrible season last year. These are all pretty brutal things to say, but I wish the guy the best with the mental health part of it because I understand how it can be hard being I mean his brother's the UFC champion and heavyweight champion, the greatest ever to ever do it in the UFC. He's a Super Bowl champion himself, but I think he's got to get the help. And AB already admitted that he has CTE a few days ago. He tweeted, and said, "Yeah, I got CTE." Like, who knows if it was a joke or not? But I mean, this guy needs help.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I was looking through it. Everyone said when we signed the guy, and this is my issue with the national media in general, they just go on a bandwagon. So when we signed the guy, there are all these red flags. He had red flags with the Patriots. He had this whole incident. He showed up to a police station. I think he was naked or some crazy thing like that. I don't need to go into the whole details of it, but he had that incident and he's old. He was, what is he, Rashawn? He's 34, right? 33,
yeah,
34.
he's 34, 35. It's somewhere around there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mid 30s, right? And the year we signed him, he was coming off an injury. He only played, I think, 5, 6 games. And so those are all three red flags. And,
Right.
everyone was like going crazy that we signed this guy. But looking back, it's a terrible move. This guy, you want guys who are young, healthy, and are good players off the field. And this guy did not meet any of those criterias.
Yeah, and I mean, even that year with Arizona, we signed him after an injury year, but he had 4 sacks in week one. And
Yeah.
then everyone was like, oh, he's going to break the sack record. He's going to be up there. And he has, I think, the third out of active players, he has the third most sacks, like among active players at 112 or something. I just remember seeing it the other day.
I mean,
And
he's got all those sacks, but I mean, he's just not the player he once was, right?
not anymore. I think now, like, I mean, he's just he's gonna go somewhere else. He's done. He's burned the bridge with McDaniels. He's burned the bridge with Ziegler. I mean, he's called everyone out, and let's not forget what he said about Patrick Graham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a classic.
yeah, classic move, classic CT move right there.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Honestly, I mean, everyone's blaming Chandler Jones, and rightfully so. This guy, he's got issues, and this is on him. This outburst is on him. But I'm going to put some blame on McDaniels. I think the reason that they brought this guy in, Rashawn,
right,
Belichick dumped this guy when he was like a Max Crosby type player, and
right,
he got traded for a second round pick, which amounted to nothing.
right,
They traded him for pennies on the dollar. Bill
right.
Belichick did, and I think McDaniels he wanted to prove the knock on McDaniels is he's too similar to Bill Belichick, and I think by bringing in Chandler Jones, he was trying to knock that stigma off and say, listen, I'm not Bill Belichick. I'm going to bring in a guy who Bill Belichick traded away for nothing. And so, I mean, it's just a terrible move. And on top of that, to restructure the guy, which gives him more guaranteed money. And we have this guy has $25 million in dead cap if we were to release him. So if he didn't have any dead cap, he'd be gone today.
Yeah,
Our agreement there, he'd be
and,
gone.
and then that's the next thing. They freed up 17 million from Jimmy G's contract. They restructured Jimmy G, which we thought off the bat was okay. They're restructuring Jimmy G to free up Chandler Jones money to avoid that dead cap would go from I think 27 million to 10 million. But they're already in the red numbers in the cap. They're one of two teams. I think Tampa and the Raiders are the only teams that are under the cap that are over the cap now
Yeah.
before the season starts, and that's just not good already to begin with, right? Like now everything has to go our way, but freeing up 17 from Jimmy G, that kind of shows that they're either in a win now mode, they're going to bring another piece in, which I highly doubt, or just the timing of it, Chandler Jones is going to be released in the next few days, but don't expect to see 55 out there for the Raiders on Sunday.
Yeah.
I feel like we gotta move on now. We gotta look ahead. We got Denver coming up on Sunday. We got a big game in Denver at Mile High. It's gonna rain, I think I heard. So luckily we're not dealing with Mr. Carr anymore in the rain. So we should be
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to say a little bit more on the Jimmy G move. We were 6.9 million, like you said, over the cap. So this frees up 17. So we're around 10 million now.
right.
I mean, me and you texted saying, "Oh, we could be getting a player, right?" I don't know who's available right now.
Yeah.
There were people on Twitter saying Nick Bosa's coming. I don't know
Yeah.
how
Nick
that's going to work out.
Bosa, I heard Brian Burns. I heard
Yeah,
from a very wonderful source, I heard that Mike Evans was going to be traded to the Raiders. And I don't
yeah.
know how accurate that is, but
How many Chucky heads, Rashawn?
I think I'm going to give it 5 Chucky heads for me, man.
Yeah,
I
five.
think Devontae Adams and Mike Evans would make a dream team. And you know who you are. We'll shout you out because you're our dog. You know, we started this channel partially because of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Mitchell Rents, we're gonna say, come on the pod. We
yeah,
want you.
come on the pod, man. We'd love to have you up in here. Um, yeah, I mean, we started this just. I mean, we watched Raiders Report for years now. So
Yeah.
shout out Mitchell Renz.
Yeah. I mean, the Jimmy G move, I was a little surprised by it. Just what you're doing when you're restructuring a guy is giving him more guaranteed money. That's essentially what you're doing.
Right.
And so you're basically guaranteeing more, which means there's more dead money if you were to move on from the guy, right?
Yeah.
So this guy's never played a snap for us before. He hasn't taken a snap, injury prone. And this basically ties him to the Raiders for next year.
But
2024, he's going to be on the team.
adding on to that, they have faith in him. By doing this, giving him more guaranteed money, they have faith he's not going to step out and break his left foot. They have faith that he's not going to have a 15 interception year. They have faith that he could take us to the playoffs, back to the playoffs, and actually win a playoff game, something Mr. Carr couldn't do. And I think they're all in on Jimmy G now. I think, this year they would have traded up and drafted a quarterback if they believed that Jimmy G was going to be, average. And I don't know. I saw a mock draft. We're going to get Shadur Sanders next year at 8th overall. Man, like, cut the bullshit, CBS. CBS be talking shit all the time about, oh, Raiders going to win 3 games. And then, oh, what if Raiders end up winning 1 game and Caleb Williams decides to stay at USC because he hates the situation? Like, first of all, he would never do that. He would never want to not play for the Raiders. Like with Arizona, I understand. But with the Raiders, like, that's not even a question that he would stay in college another year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think this year is gonna be good. I think Jimmy G, he's got a lot to prove, but if someone can do it, it's him. It's the 2-time Super Bowl champ.
Yeah. What I took out of this move is he's going to be our starter for the next 2 years, barring injury, right? He's going to be our starter
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
next 2 years.
Yeah. So now, I think football starting tomorrow. Everyone's hyped. Obviously the Travis Kelce injury was some headline yesterday that he hyperextended his knee and now he's questionable for the game tomorrow. I don't think there's a chance in hell that he misses the game. I think there's
So,
no
I mean,
there's
he's
no way.
questionable, right?
Yeah, there's no way he misses the game. He's gonna play 100%. I mean, they rule him questionable, whatever they want to say. Travis Kelce's gonna be there week 1, and he's gonna tear up the Lions. He's gonna tear up the Lions D, and I think Kansas City's gonna have a statement win tomorrow. I don't think Detroit has a chance. Um,
Yeah. I think the line, Rashawn, was 6.5. Chiefs
yeah,
are 6.5. It
yeah,
probably moved since the Kelce thing.
right.
I don't know what it's at right now, but if I was a betting man, I'd bet all my money on KC for this game. Maybe not
I
all my money, but I'd bet a lot on KC.
10-team parlay on Bovada, $2 to turn into 600.
Man.
Man, Casey's the start of it though, so hopefully we get something there.
You know what
Um,
I mean?
but I think we should recap our game. I mean, Casey, who gives a fuck about Kansas City? Like
Yeah.
we need to get into our game. Like our game is where everything lies, and I think our game is where, you know, we got the most to look forward to. So enough talking about Kansas City. I feel sick even hearing Kansas City on this podcast. But let's see, 125 kickoff, Denver, rain, rain in the forecast. So expect Josh Jacobs to have a field day, number 8, breakout game. Jimmy G, I hope it's not one of those classic Patriot 3-pass games where Mac Jones, you remember that one time completed 3 passes and they
Against Buffalo.
yeah, and they ran the ball like 45 times and won.
Yeah.
Man, like, I don't know, but I think it's important. Like the key Raiders for the game on Sunday are going to be, I think, on the offensive end. Devontae hasn't lost a step, and we know that. I think the key Raider is going to be, Josh Jacobs, seeing how he, with such little time to get acclimated back, how he's going to do. And then on defense, I'd say Jacorian Bennett is going to have, a breakout game with the new system and Patrick Graham and Chandler Jones' favorite guy.
Yeah, so I think talking about Jimmy G, I would be pretty shocked if he throws for over 200 yards. I think it's going to be look, it's not going to be Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots style, but we're going to run the ball. Broncos secondary is feisty. They got guys, Justin Simmons,
Right,
Pat Surtain, so they fly around.
right,
And Jimmy, watching his tape over
right.
the middle, he can miss high, and it's good.
Yeah,
There could be some interceptions that Jimmy throws. So I don't think McDaniels is gonna. He's not gonna want him airing it out 30, 40 times. It's gonna be
I,
a Josh
I
Jacobs show. So I think, look, Denver has some good linebackers. They're graded really high. They always have a good defense, good front
right.
seven.
Yeah,
I mean, I trust our offensive line more than I trust their D line.
right.
We got road graders in the interior, and I think Jacobs. Look, my prediction: 25 carries, 130 touchdown. I think that gets it done.
And I think overall, I think Russell Wilson is going to struggle. I don't think I don't think him and Sean Payton are going to be on the same page for a while. I think Russell Wilson is still busy kissing babies, as Sean Payton said. And he's not going to be, I don't think he's going to come out sharp, with the one receiver they have on the roster, Cortland Sutton. Everyone else is injured. No clue who they have. KJ Hamler gone. Tim Patrick gone. They got even they had that tight end with his long ass last name with an O.
Albert O.
Yeah, Albert O gone. They traded him. They got no one now. I think the only guy they have is that white tight end. I can't remember his name, but that guy's a baller. That guy over the middle. He can destroy.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. Is Jerry Judy? I think he was injured. I looked at the injury report. He was limited in practice today. So
Yeah, he'll be out the first couple weeks at least. Jerry
yeah,
Judy's not going to play. And I think our defense is going to have an opportunity with the guys. And the only guy I'm nervous about is David Long Jr., honestly, because he gets burned. I mean, we've seen it in preseason. He gets burned. Like he can't contain either on tackles. He can't make stops. He just is an iffy player. But I think let's why don't we go through our why don't you give me your prediction? What do you think this Sunday?
in terms of score, I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. Similar to the game last year in Denver. I think we won 17-16.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, I would say 21-13 win.
Oh, 13 win. I'll put a few more points on the board. I think it's going to be a 24-20 victory for the Las Vegas Raiders in Denver. I think we start out hot. I think we go up, 21-3 or 21-10. I don't think Russell Wilson can hang in there. The defense is going to be what's keeping them in the game. So if Jimmy G makes any mistakes, then we could be looking at a different ball game. But I think he's ready for his debut.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I don't expect Jamie to be like extremely sharp. We saw with Carr last year, first game of the season, it could be a little shaky at times, right? I'm
Right.
not, even if Jimmy goes out and struggles a little bit, I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. I'm not going to panic. But I just think in the red zone, he gives us a better opportunity.
Right.
We're gonna cash in, and I think situationally, this guy gives us a better chance to win than Carr. So I think, look, third down, red zone, Jimmy's a winner. He's gonna get it done on the road.
In Denver. And I
Yeah,
think and I think going back to that last year's week one game, I mean, I haven't had a week one game in 2 years now since last year I was at the game, right? So I haven't gotten a week one NFL experience in a couple of years because last year I was just sitting at SoFi Stadium all day before the game. And of course we lost because Mr. Carr decided to choke. And I think this year it's a change of the tide. I think it's a turning of the tide. And I think the autumn wind is going to be blowing on Sunday. But I think it's also going to be blowing throughout the whole season. I think that the defense will come together. The offense is gonna play better, and I think Jacobs coming back. Obviously, you can't get better than that.
yeah. And adding on to that, I think this is a must-win game, Rashawn. Like our next four games, say what you want to say, but we're gonna be
Yep.
underdogs in all four of
Yep.
those games,
Yep.
maybe even five with the Packers.
At Buffalo, home to Steelers on Sunday night. Then at Chargers, and then I think
Green Bay.
five is Green Bay home on Monday night.
So we're going to be underdogs, and I think all those games. Maybe Green
Yeah,
Bay will be slightly
I think
favored.
we're underdogs for the first 11 games.
Yeah, so that's I mean, Buffalo, it's going to be a tough game. I think we have maybe a 20% chance of winning that game. So we saw last year starting out 0-2, it's hard to climb back up from that. So you
Right.
got to go at least 1-1.
Right. And Buffalo's heard the noise, man. I mean, not to overlook Denver and going into week 2, but we'll get into that next week. And in our post game after Denver, we'll be going live after the Broncos game. But I think Buffalo starts out slow, but I think they've heard the noise that, oh, they're in their last few years of a Super Bowl run. They Kansas City keeps stifling them in the divisional round, and they get bounced, and then they can't win. They can't ever get to the Super Bowl after the 4-year curse.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they've heard the noise, so I'd expect them to come out hot this year and not start the usual 1-2 or 2-2. I think they're gonna start, 6, 7-1. I think they're gonna get rolling early. And they got a new look too. They got James Cook as a lead back now, and I think he complements Diggs and Allen nicely. So it should be a fun going in the AFC, but it's going to be tough. I think 10 wins, we got to, like we were saying in the last video, 10 wins to make the playoffs. You can never make it with 9 wins in this league. So,
Yeah. So Denver's going to be a big game. We've had their number. We said that in our first episode. Look, last 6 meetings, and the one meeting we lost was Drew Lock. The refs were terrible that game. We should have won that game. It probably was, if we had won that, it would have been like 9 or 10 in a row
yeah.
in Denver.
Yeah,
So
but that was week 18. That was bullshit. Gruden went for it. Gruden went for 2 on the last play and didn't get it. Then the year
yeah,
after, I believe he did go for 2 and we got it in 2020.
yeah. Waller caught a little slant
Yeah.
route over the middle.
Yeah, it was two years in a row. I remember week 18 in Denver, we went for 2. But I mean, week 2 early, week 1, we're gonna get Denver early. So I think within the first 5 games, realistically, we have to win 3. We have to
Yeah,
win 3 out of the 5. So I think beat Denver, beat Green Bay, beat Pittsburgh, and you're putting yourself in a good position down the stretch to face teams like New York and other New York and Minnesota. And then also you get the Bears and the Lions, you get the NFC North in there. So yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys updated after every game. We'll be going live. And we'll get those videos out, and we're gonna recap and analyze and really try to be like our dear friend Raider Films and really go through each game step by step.
yeah. It's gonna be a fun season. I'm looking forward to it.
Can't wait. All starts Sunday.
Yeah, 1-0, baby.
Want to know? Let's get it. All right, Raider Nation, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate all the comments and the you guys that subscribed. We can see all of that. Like I said last time, we can see everyone who subscribes and all the likes and just keep on coming. And plus, we saw on that short getting 800 views. We really like that. So really appreciate you guys. So like, subscribe, share, do all that. Please really help us out.
Thank you guys.